Warning, I'm just having fun with old cars. I hope you get some tips and a good laugh from watching, but don't do what I do on your projects. What is up, everybody? Another video, full birds chirping. So, nothing new here. Today we're going to do a little bit of painting. So, I asked in another video how you guys felt about a logo on the door of the pile, and surprisingly many people, I don't know, that doesn't sound right, but surprisingly several people, I don't know, I'm not very good at English, I guess. Anyway, more than one person said I should do it, so I'm gonna try it. Now, you see this logo right here? That is not what I'm gonna put on the door. I'm going to simplify it because I'm not an artist. Probably shouldn't be allowed paint. But I picked up this little stencil set. I don't know if the 6-inch letters are gonna be big enough for what I want to do, but we're gonna lay it out and see what happens. The worst I can do is sand it down and roll on some new white paint, because that's what's cool about having a subpar paint job, is you just try stuff and then you can fix it and you don't feel bad about it. So I'm gonna get set up a little bit. As you saw in the beginning, I just pulled this thing into the carport, so I'm gonna try and set up a little bit and figure out how I'm gonna lay this out, and then I'll catch you guys up then. Okay, well, it's been a while. I have screwed around with this for a very long time, but I think I'm okay with how it looks. So yeah, I'm gonna show you. It's just stenciled. I just have the stencils kind of in place just to get an idea of what it was gonna look like. But let me show you where I'm at right now. So I've made a giant arts and crafts mess in my carport. That's fine, but this is what it looks like right now. So hang on, let me zoom. Boom. So you will notice, some of you will notice, that's not an S, that's not an E, that's also not an S, but it turns out the stencil kit I bought only has one set of letters, so I might have to go pick up another one, because it's just easier for me to buy a couple more and put all the letters in. But this is kind of what I'm thinking. I actually ended up going with, let me show you, this Comes with 6-inch, 3-inch, and 2-inch letters. I ended up using the 3-inch and the 2-inch letters to get this. The 6-inch was just too big. I try and get as much of this in the picture as I can. I think the size is pretty good. I will time-lapse the process when I do the other side, but I wasn't really sure if this was going to work out good or not. But I laid this tape off the body line just to give me an even space up here. And then I found center of the door there, and up here. And then I put a string on a pencil, and I used that up here. And I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I just made a pencil mark. Now, one thing I did not really I didn't think of before, and I kind of had to, that's why there's multiple lines. I don't know if you can see them, but you have to make sure you hold this thing even, otherwise it can change the point of your line quite a bit. So I tried to hold it as square to the panel as I could, and just went back and forth. And then I also kind of marked out a center line, which you can't really see, just to kind of try and keep everything even. I also counted out the letters for this part and this part so that I could, it ended up being centered here, and then the center is in between here. That's kind of how I laid that out, and then I just kind of followed my mark with the top of the stencils, and I think it worked out pretty good. This, I just kind of free-handed it. Obviously I used the straight edge to make the marks. You can see I don't know what I was doing here, but it wasn't right. So I feel like it looks pretty good. What I'll probably end up doing here is just using a good fresh razor blade and just cutting that out and using this as a stencil. But before I do that, I need to run to the Walmart, and I need to get obviously some more stencils. That little box of stencils was like $5, I think. So it's kind of nice because it came with the different sizes and stuff, which is good because I would have chose the wrong size for sure. But I'm gonna go pick up probably 3 more of those. That way I can do both doors and not reuse the stencil, because I will probably screw it up. Then I also gotta work out what the best way is gonna be for me to paint this on. I got a couple ideas, but I'm gonna go to the store first. So yeah, just hang tight, and for you guys it'll be like a couple seconds, and I gotta go to the store. So just stay there. Okay, welcome back. I hope that was a smooth transition to this clip. So I went to the store and I changed my plan just a smidge. But I think I'm gonna hold off on doing the lightning bolt for now. I can always come back and add that later. But the other thing is, hold on. I picked up, golly, some Sharpie oil-based paint markers, I guess is what they are. So I think I'm gonna try and use those to paint the letters on, because I've been dreading trying to paint them with a brush, or I don't want to spray them because I don't want to get a bunch of overspray all over the truck, and especially not black overspray. So we're gonna give that a shot, see how it goes. I'll spin this around real quick and show you one last look with all the correct letters in place, and then I think I'll set you guys up, and I'm gonna start trying to paint this and see how bad I screwed up. So yeah, nothing to it but to do it, I guess. Let me show it to you, and then we'll get to work again. So there it is. It looks pretty much the same as before, except for it's got all the correct letters now. Like I was saying, I think I'm gonna hold off on this until I get both doors done. If I want to, I can always come back and add that later, but I don't want to go too crazy right off the bat, because I may not even like it, and then it's just one more thing I gotta fix if I don't. So this is, this is what it looks like. Then I'm gonna set you up and start trying to color this thing in like a child, and we'll see how that goes. So I bought like a really thick marker and a thinner one to kind of, I don't know, I may end up just using the thick ones, but I thought, why not? So we'll crack this deal open. This may not work, but if it does, it's a pretty decent solution to doing this. If I can, oh my gosh, they really package this deal up. Why does it need this? Why do you need to put this on here? Okay, we'll just do that. Then you gotta shake it, and shake it, and shake. Okay, that's one way to take that off, I guess. Now with I did go with these partially because they're oil based. I don't know. Maybe you can you read that? And I chose that because I know that this paint is also oil based. So I don't know. It might work. It might not. When you're using a paint marker, you gotta kind of dab it until the paint starts to come out. If you didn't know that or haven't used one before, you can kind of see, maybe, it's just starting to come out. So you just keep dabbing it and dabbing it and dabbing it, and it'll start to, and now you kind of, you see it did the thing. Now let's see how this goes. I also gotta try and hold this stencil down. Okay. I don't know how much you guys were able to see, but there's the first letter. I'm gonna peel this off just to see how it came out. Oh no. It did not come out good. Dang it. Well, I'm gonna see if I can fix that. Well, you saw the time lapse, which means you pretty much probably saw the finished product. Listen, I don't think any of you, and I know I definitely did not expect it to come out perfect, because I'm not very good at anything at all, really. Like really nothing. Like there's really not anything I'm good at. But anyway, that's fine. I don't care, because if you can see what I see, and you had the vision that I've had in my head for this truck, I'm pretty jacked up about it. You know, someday I'm gonna pay a professional to do this, and it's gonna be absolutely perfect. But I am pretty dang happy, and I'm having a hard time containing it. But I'm gonna contain it, because we're gonna go to the other side now. I just spent 2 hours on this. So I have to get on the other side ASAP, because I still gotta lay it all out and stuff. So we're gonna hop over there and get it laid out and get the painting, and you're not gonna see the full reveal until we got both sides done, because honestly, we're gonna back this thing out there a little bit and get a real nice side shot of it, because I think it's gonna look mint. So hang tight. I'm gonna get set up on the other side, and I'll kind of show you how I laid out this side. I know it's kind of backwards, but I wasn't sure if my plan was gonna work, so I'll show you what I did, and then we'll get to painting that side. And I am excited. Come on. Okay, so I hope you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. But the first step is to find the center of the door. So to start, let's kind of eyeball a piece of tape that's really not, it doesn't really matter, but let's try and put it even with the bottom of the door. And grab your handy tape measure and a pen, and the measurements on this door and the other door are all over the place, but I'm just trying to find whatever center is. So this is 39 and 1/8, which would be 19 and 9/16 would be my center there. So then, once I know that, I have my piece of string that I used on the other side, and I left the tape on the string where it was, so that I could just put it on this side, and I had it like even with the top of the rocker, and that will allow me to put this here, and the string should be the same length that it was on the other side, which should put our logo at the same height, in theory, or at least close enough. The good news is you can only see one side of the truck at a time. So I'm going to hold this up here and just I'm going to try and keep it straight the best I can. Just make me a little mark, and now I know. Can you guys see that? Nope. So now I know where to put this piece of tape. And then we can measure center there. Same deal. For some reason, the top of this door measures 39 3/8, which the other door was like that too. So I don't really know why, but that's gonna be 19 11/16 ish. We're not building Teslas here, so it can be a rough estimate. I'm pretty sure building a Tesla is kind of like rocket science these days, so same. And to get our height, we're just going to kind of track this. I don't remember how thick this tape is, 1.5 inches or something, but I just kind of followed that body line. The placement is really, it's just your preference, just because this is how I'm laying mine out. You can, I mean, this is kind of an artistic thing, so however you'd like to lay it out is up to you. I will not be offended if you say the way I did it is stupid. So now we got this, so we'll go ahead mark center on that also, just because we can. So that's 39 3/8 also, so 19 11/16, I think, unless my math is wrong, but seems relatively close, at least. My one up here does not. I may have screwed that up. Let me check myself. Yep, I screwed that up. 19 11/16, not 20 11/16. So we'll just cross that one out. Pretend that didn't happen. Now that we have that, we can take this and make us a center line. And the reason for this center line is so that we can even up the letters on each side. So you don't really need to make a solid line. I don't think you need to make a solid line. Just make a couple little dash marks. The letters are going to be here and here. The lightning bolt, I honestly just kind of eyeballed on the other side. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I'm not too worried about having a center line for that, because it's not like I have a stencil or anything. So now we can take this. I think I mentioned it before, but you got to try and hold this as square to the door as you can, because if you don't, your string falls off. But also, it changes the line, which changes your radius. So the reason I have this string and have my pencil tied to it is this gives us a focal. It gives us a spot for it to pivot on, which will give us a consistent radius as long as we don't screw up the angle of our pencil. So Now we'll just make us a little line. If it's not perfect, it's fine. You're just painting a logo on the door. It's not the end of the world. And that's basically it. So the next thing, if I like what I did on the other side, is I kind of laid out my letters and counted to find out where the center would be, and then just laid them out on here, lay them out here. I don't think I talked about it. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Just painting the stencil did not work. I think I showed that it ran everywhere behind the stencil, so I ended up just taking a pencil and I traced out each one of the letters in the stencil and then pulled the stencil off before I basically freehanded the letter, but it wasn't really freehand because I just had to color inside the lines, which I did not do very good at because, you know, I'm probably about a third grader, so but we'll show you all that at the end. But that's the basic process. It's actually fairly easy. Doing like the radius and stuff, you don't have to do that. You could do it just straight. Also, the point you use for this, it's just going to change how the letters fan out. If you do a tighter or looser radius. I just did it where I did it from, just because it's easy to duplicate. So kind of keep that in mind, because if you're doing this, you're probably doing both sides. And even though you can't see both sides at the same time, it's kind of nice to have them similar. So that's really all there is to it. I got quite a bit of work ahead of me. It takes a painstaking amount of time and concentration to paint out each one of those letters, but I think it's worth it, and it didn't cost me a lot of money, just a bunch of my time. So I'm going to probably set up a time lapse again and kind of go start to finish on this deal, and I'm gonna put in some music. You guys are probably gonna listen to some music, and then we get to do the big reveal, which I feel like we do a lot of big reveals that aren't that big, but this might be one of the cooler ones. Man, oh man, did you guys see what I just saw? Because I think this thing looks killer. I'm very happy, to say the least. Now listen, it's not done well, but if you, it's like everything else on the truck. If you stand, 20 or 30 feet back, squint a little bit, just a little, this thing looks good. You know what? Let me show it to you again. I mean, would you just look at it? Oh man, I love this truck. Now, I absolutely love it. I think it looks awesome. Like I already said, it's not perfect. I'm gonna show you up close, and it's gonna look pretty rough. But I don't care. I'm happy. Like I said earlier, I'd love to have a professional do it someday and make it really nice. But this is proof that if I can do it, anyone can do it. Those paint markers, where'd I put them? These Sharpie oil-based paint markers, they worked awesome. Once I figured out, I got shaky hands. Okay, I'm not all surgeon hands. I'm more like a leaf in the fall. But so my line work's not good, but hey, I don't care. Have I said that already? I don't care. I freaking like it. So let me show you up close, and then we'll wrap this deal up. Nice little easy project. It just still took me all day, but I only have like $20. I only have like $20 in this project, and I'm cool with that. So let me show you close up, and then we'll wrap up this video. And next week we should be back on the S10, hopefully, if I can find a power glide, maybe. So the closer you get, the worse it looks. Okay. You can see how rough the edges of the letters are. I screwed up in a couple places. I'll it is what it is. I'll show you the other side. Ooh, look at that. I screwed up a lot on that S. Don't worry about that, okay? But she's a little rough around the edges, but for the quality of this truck, I think it'll work just fine. I mean, it's hard to complain about that, at least in my opinion. And that's pretty much that. I got kind of a short weekend with stuff I got going on, so that's gonna be my project for this week. I don't know. If you learn anything from this or from any of my videos, is just get out and try something, because honestly, if a handful of you guys hadn't commented on my video where I asked about doing this and told me to do it, I probably wouldn't have, because I'm pretty good at talking myself out of things, especially if don't feel like I can do it. But thanks to you guys, I didn't do that, and I'm pretty dang happy with this thing. I'm also happy to report it seems to be running pretty good still with the fuel pressure regulator upgrade, if you want to call it that, or just installing one, because yeah, whatever. So I'm happy about that. I'm going to go drive my hot rod now. So get out and work on your junk. Thank you for watching and hanging around. If you're interested, I got hats and some other stuff on my Shopify store. You can check that out. If you're not, that's fine. Thank you everybody for watching and for pushing me to do stuff I wouldn't normally do. And you guys are the reason my truck looks so cool. So thank you for that. See you later. Appreciate you watching. Don't forget, like and subscribe. See you on the next one.